act to follow. But he's a genius, so what can I say? Thank you very much. The times are changing, and so is the, can you hear me? So is the way we look at health and health care maintenance. Over the past 20, 30 years, more and more people are realizing the benefits of alternative ways of healing. And this has been done in Asia and Europe for centuries. Technology and health science are coming together with a non-invasive method of finding imbalances in the body and ways of balancing these things. I would like to introduce you to some of this blending of health science and technology. First, I'll tell you how I got into this. When I was 16 years of age, I came up with acute rheumatic fever. And during this time, I had a near-death experience. And when I came back, I realized there was more to life than what I was being taught. So this got me curious. The doctor that took over my case wanted to adopt me because they only had 2 boys. But I had neat parents, so when I got back on my feet, he hired me to work in his office. I was taught urinalysis, blood counts, and skin testing. And I can remember having a microscope and a box of marbles beside it and 4 or 5 paper cups. When I'd see a lymphocyte, I'd take a marble and put it in the lymphocyte cup. When I saw an eosinophil, I'd take a marble and put it in the eosinophil cup, and this is the way we blood counted. A couple years later, I got married and became a housewife and mother, and for 25 years, a lot of my creativity was turned off. And then 25 years later, when I was alone and single, then I realized I wanted to get back to the healing path. So I knocked on doors, and a otolaryngologist said, "I'll hire you if you'll do my allergy work." So that was great for me. And I was lucky because he wasn't just a MD, he was a kind of a maverick. He would bring me polyps and tissue from patients that he removed things from and give them to me, and I would make serum from it, test the person, find their balancing point, and give them shots of that serum, and they wouldn't grow polyps anymore. And so that was my first introduction to homeopathy. Then, of course, when you get older, why, then you need to retire. Well, I retired, but then I wasn't tired. So I knew about the Omega machine. So I purchased one, and I was trained on it. And 10 years ago, I started to practice by using the EAV machine. This is it. EAV is for electroacupuncture, according to Voll. Dr. Voll was a German physician, and he was intrigued with a Chinese method of acupuncture. So he thought if there's really channels of energy running through our body, there must be a way of testing this energy. So this is the machine. It has a meter on it. The client holds a electrode. The technician tests their acupuncture points. The meter has 1 to 100, and when the arrow is at 50, that's the balance. So if you're testing an antigen like CAT, and you start with a number 1 potency in the computer, and until the arrow is up to 1, you keep increasing the potency. So sometimes it takes several several dilutions to get to their balance them on CAT. This is a single channel machine. We also have the body scan machine, and Mel will tell you about that. The third machine is the quantum. This is, or QXCI. It stands for Quantum Xerox Consciousness Interface. It's, it also has a harness on it. The client can wear the harness, or you can test someone that's 2,000 miles away by the subspace. It's put together for it works very fast. It only takes 3.5 minutes to test someone, but it has every therapy there is in it. There's no perchance. It's between the client and the machine, so there is no point testing to it. It's a very powerful homeopathic biofeedback system which affects balancing results. We're set up with all 3 machines back there, so if you want to experience any of them, you can. Now I want to introduce Mel, who will tell you about the body scan. His background is, his education was math and science teaching. He's a very dear friend of mine who I've known many years, and we are in the same office together. He has been with the electromagnetic can't read this, since '96. And he teaches the body scan. And so I want to bring him out.
Gloria forgot to mention at the bottom, I said Gloria taught me everything that I know, but she's been very kind and gracious. I'm a trainer on the body scan. The body scan is no longer manufactured anymore. They pulled it off the market about 9 months ago because of a few problems with the FDA, but it'll be back soon. There's a lot of different modalities that people can use as far as finding out energetically what's going on in the body, and that's what the body scan does, and the quantum does too. Energetically, things manifest themselves in the body before they actually come out physically. So you just don't wake up in the morning and say, you know, I got lupus this morning at 2 o'clock. And that just doesn't happen. There's some things that are going on with the terrain of the body, air pollution, stress, things like that that cause disease and disease processes in the body. So on the body scan, the first part of the test on the body scan, you're hooked up to a harness. This is on a full test. You're hooked up to a harness and you're tested on 2,500 to 3,500 different frequencies, from amino acids to cell salts to emotions, metabolism, supplements. There's 60 different categories you can test people on, and then from that test results, it will show where the body's expending the most amount of energy, and also, since it's a computer, it will put a numeric value to everything and sort it to that, and so we can find out where the priority systems are in the body. We can also test animals with the equipment. They squirm in the harness a little bit, but no, just kidding. You don't put a horse in the harness. But the thing that happens is we go ahead, they can clone a sheep out of a single cell. So each one of your cells of your body carries a holographic image of the whole body. And so we test animals by a hair sample. And so we can go ahead and test the hair sample, and energetically that hair sample will let us know what's going on with that animal also. And I'll just tell you just a real quick story. One of my great animal adventures, I guess I'll call it. I knew this lady, and the thing that she did is she had this dog named Brandon, and she goes, Brandon's just walking around, he's just having a tough time, and she didn't want me to test him at that time, but so I just told her maybe some essential fatty acids, a few things like that, change his diet. And so I didn't hear from her for a long time. Well, Mickey called me all in a panic one day, and she goes, Mel, you got to come test my dog. And I go, what's going on? And she goes, well, we took him to CSU Vet Hospital. Thing is, he's got a lesion on his left front leg. He's walking on 3 legs, and they just said we got to put him down because it's bone cancer, and he'll die a real painful death. And the reason why Mickey panicked so much is that she went ahead and went to Wendy's and bought Brandon 3 double cheeseburgers and took him to the park because that was his last dinner. And so she went ahead and fed those, and Brandon was he just chomped down those burgers. He thought that was the greatest thing. And Mickey's pretty spiritual, and so she started talking to Brandon, and she just goes, Brandon, you got to give me a sign whether we need to put you down or not. And so, and it wasn't more than about 30 seconds. Here the squirrel goes across the park, and here goes this 3-legged dog after the squirrel. And then so Mickey panicked, and so she called me and she goes, Mel, you got to test him. So I went on over to Mickey's house, and I sat down in her backyard because I like to meet my clients before I test them. And here goes Brandon. He's kind of circling around a little bit, playing a little bit, and then all of a sudden he comes around, lays down beside me, and puts his hurt paw on my foot, like he wanted to show me what was going on. So I went ahead and tested Brandon, and there were some issues with digestion and different things like that, but there was a lot of emotional issues going on with him too. So I made some bottles of homeopathy, which we can make a custom homeopathic off the equipment. And so Mickey was giving the dog drops in the mouth plus some drops on that injured leg, and she also did some Jinshin Jitsu on the leg to get the energy flowing through there. In about 4 weeks, Brandon was walking 2 miles a day on all 4 legs, and he was just doing great. And then just a little ending to that, she called me about 2 months later, and she goes, Brandon, he's going downhill again. He's only walking on 3 legs. And I go, okay, I'll come test him again. So I pulled up to the front of the house, and there was a for sale sign on the house. And I went in and talked to Mickey a little bit, and I go, how long has Brandon been limping around? And she goes, about 3 weeks. And I go, how long have you had your house for sale? She goes, 3 weeks. And I go, did you ever stop and talk to Brandon that there's going to be all these different people coming in the house, and things will be different around there? And she forgot to talk to him. And the thing is, so our animals around that we test too, they pick up our frequencies. They know that when something in their environment isn't quite right. Let me see. But like Gloria said, I've been a trainer with the body scan for about a year since the passing of Spencer Woolley, which was one of the developers of the equipment. And but we see people anywhere from, Gloria was explaining allergies, from food allergies to cancer to MS to all kinds of disease and disease processes. And we try to look at the body, mind, spirit as much as we can, and try to support the body with our custom homeopathics that we can make, enzymes, any kind of supplements that they need. And we also look at the terrain of the body to see if the body's properly detoxing. So we always look at the pH of the urine and saliva so we can make sure that that body system can heal itself. The way the design of your body, it's designed for wellness. It's not designed to be sick. But with all the pollution and stress responses we have in our lives, we kind of get these imbalances going on. And there's a good book that I use all the time. It's called Your Body Speaks Your Mind by Debbie Shapiro. And you can look up, it's kind of similar to Louise Hay, if you're familiar with that, but it's, I like that one just a little bit more than Louise Hay. But are there any questions that anybody has? We have I have one body scan set up back there. Gloria's got the Quantum and the Omega back there, and so we're testing people at our table. But are there any questions that anybody has on anything in particular?
What can you do with lupus?
Well, again, you energetically you want to find out what's going on there. There's just not one thing going on with lupus. There's a big emotional piece with lupus. The terrain of the body, you want to look at the terrain, make sure the pH is balanced, make sure that they're digesting their food and processing things properly, so you can get the body to heal itself. The body will pretty much heal itself of anything as long as it has the right tools as far as to do that. And we basically open up the lymphatic system, make sure that all the body systems are processing and eliminating, and then also their food that they take in, that they're absorbing it properly. So, is there anything else? Is there anything? Nope, I guess that's about it. Thank you.